Hello friends, good morning. Welcome to my channel. We are very well off about the architecture of balance sheet. See, in this architecture there are two components. One is assets and another one is liabilities. Under the assets there are different components. Now we will look into it. Guys, in order to explain about the asset side components of a balance sheet, I'll narrate a story about a popcorn shop. With this you can easily understand about the asset side component of balance sheet. See, there is a famous popcorn shop in your city. What actually the things consisting at the popcorn shop? Have you observed? Yes, one is the shop, obviously. The second one, popcorn making machine. And the third one, there are corn raw material, corn. And the fourth one, money. And the fifth one, popcorn packaged into a packets. A little number of packets are readily available at that machine. Most probably these are the things you have observed in the popcorn shop. See, for a popcorn shop, whatever the fixed items like the shop and the popcorn making machine, those two are permanent assets for a popcorn shop. Am I correct or not? Yes. See, these two can be categorized as fixed assets. That means these cannot be consumed within a short span of time. These are the fixed assets. These cannot be consumed. There may be a depreciation for this one. Suppose if you purchase that popcorn making machine in the year of 2018 for an amount of, let us say, 10,000. But now if you sell that particular machine to any person or to any company, then they may not give 10,000 to you. They may calculate what you call a word, that is depreciation. So they calculate depreciation, and with the depreciation they arrive a final value. That means for every year there is a depreciation for the fixed asset like machines. So at one particular year the entire value of that machine will be nullified. So while considering the fixed assets of a particular company or a firm or an individual, you must calculate depreciation. That we will discuss later. See, now out of these items you are in a position to identify what are the fixed assets. One is the land and building, that is the shop, and the second one, machinery, popcorn making machinery. These two can be grouped into fixed assets. Now coming to the other aspect, that is, see, there is a popcorn in the packets. Those popcorn, you must be having a confidence that these popcorn will consume within 1 day or within 2 days or within 3 days. Or can you give assurance that these may consume within 1 year? Yes, he can give assurance. That means whatever the assets which are present on the particular shop, out of those assets if any kind of asset may consume within 12 months, that is called as current assets of the firm. See, out of the identified assets of that popcorn shop, one is popcorn readily available in packets. That is a current asset. Why? Definitely it will consume within 12 months. And the second one, the cash. With that cash, you can purchase again the raw material and you can develop your business. So cash is also you can consume within 12 months. And the raw material, that is like corn. The corn, with that raw material, you can manufacture the popcorn. So what you have observed from the fixed assets as well as current assets, the fixed assets cannot be consumed within 12 months, whereas the current assets what you are having, those can be consumed within 12 months. So now what are the current assets here? The popcorn readily available in packets as well as the raw material corn and the petty cash which is available at the vendor. So these can be classified as current assets. Now one more point. Suppose you are a regular visitor of that popcorn shop, then what you have to told to that manufacturer of popcorn shop? Bhaiya, I will pay at the end of the month. Whatever the popcorn I have purchased from you, I will pay. Please note it down, and I will pay at the end of the month. Suppose every day you have purchased 10 rupees of popcorn, and ultimately at the end of the month, how much amount you owe to that particular person? That is of 300 rupees. These 300 rupees are nothing but the sales on credit basis. Here there are the popcorn sales, those sales on credit basis. So these are also considered as assets. So if any kind of book debts, these are called technically as book debts. If any kind of book debts which may be repayable within 90 days, those can also be considered as current assets. Okay. Now finally, what are the assets you have identified? The assets are grouped into two categories: fixed assets and current assets. Under fixed assets, whatever the land and building, plant and machinery, those can be categorized as fixed assets. What are the assets which will consume within 12 months? Those can be considered as current assets. Okay, this is one set of asset classification under assets side of a balance sheet. Now we will look into another side of asset classification. Suppose there are 10 popcorn shops in that particular city. Every day you go to one particular shop which is a branded one. Remaining all are unbranded one, and the cost is also very high in that branded popcorn shop compared to other shops. Even though the cost is very high, why you are going to that particular branded shop? Why not unbranded? See, that is called branding. What is the value of that branding? That value of branding you cannot be counted. Can you touch that branding? Can you feel that branding? You cannot touch, you cannot feel, you cannot count. So, that branding, with that branding, the shop is running perfectly. Means, definitely, that is an asset to the popcorn shop. So, how can you classify that asset? Whether it is a fixed asset or whether it is a current asset, we cannot classify that one. In order to classify that one, those assets can be grouped into two categories. One is tangible assets and another one intangible assets. See, out of the assets available at the popcorn shop, what kind of assets you are going to feel, touch and count, those can be treated as tangible assets. The remaining means what you cannot feel, touch or count, those can be categorized as intangible assets. See, the branding. Adidas is a brand. Reebok is a brand. With that brand, they grow their market share. So, that branding is an asset that can be called as intangible asset. The goodwill, patent rights, copyrights, intellectual property rights, these can be considered as intangible assets. Now, what are the tangible assets? Other than all these intangible assets are tangible assets like land and building, plant and machinery, cash, raw material, popcorn, everything, what not. Except those branding, everything are tangible assets. Now, I think you can easily understand from this short story that what is a current asset, what is a fixed asset, and what is a tangible asset, what is intangible assets. See, current assets are nothing but it will consume within 12 months. In order to run any kind of shop, they want what? They want a finance. How a bank can finance? Bank can finance two type of loans. One is term loan and the second one cash credit loan, CC account or term loan account. You never finance a term loan to acquire current assets. Please remember, this is the fundamental point. You never finance a term loan to acquire current assets. In the similar fashion, you never finance the CC loan to the machinery purchase. That means if a shop owner may approach you towards bank finance, then you must inquire about what is his requirement. Suppose his requirement is to run the business on daily basis. For that he need a liquidity support. Then you can finance a CC limit but not term loan. Suppose if he want to, in the previous story, if he want to purchase a popcorn making machine, then you must finance a term loan. Why a term loan is necessary? Why not CC? Because in the term loan, the outstanding balance is on reducing basis. That means at one particular point, the term loan balance will be 0. Whereas in the case of CC limit, the CC limit cannot be 0 forever until and unless you stopped the renewal of that loan. So, if at any particular point, if the term loan becomes 0, in the similar fashion, the machinery what you have purchased out of the bank finance, that machinery is also every year it comes under, it will be under depreciation state. That means at one particular year, the machinery value must be 0. That means you can fix the repayment capacity or the tenure of the term loan in line with the depreciation of that particular machinery. Suppose if you purchase a machinery, popcorn making machinery, in the year of 2020, now assume a 10% of depreciation every year, then its value will become 0 at the end of 10th year, because for every year, in the case of straight line method, for every year it is a 10%, means when it comes to 10th year it will be 100% depreciation. So if you put a repayment period of that particular term loan, say for example a 15 years, but after 10 years the value of that machinery will be 0, but here the repayment period is 15 years, means there is a leftover of 5 years. Suppose if that account becomes NPA, then what about the asset? You cannot sold that asset. If you sold, the value of that asset will become 0 after the 10th year. So my dear friends, if you want to make a term loan repayment schedule, that repayment schedule must be in line with the depreciation of that machinery schedule. Okay. So in today's class, I have explained about the asset side components. One is the current asset, fixed asset, tangible asset, intangible asset, and how to finance a machinery loan and a working capital limit. And one point I forgot. Suppose if you pay the rent of that particular shop, that rent also comes under the current asset. These can be considered as prepaid expenses. So these prepaid expenses also comes under the current asset. Now in the next class, I'll give a brief explanation on liabilities side. Later, we will discuss in depth into the balance sheet. Hope you can understand the concept. Thank you for watching my channel.